You have seen them. The nice car in the driveway, the new clothes every season, the fancy vacations posted all over social media. They look like they have it all figured out. They look like money is never a problem for them. But here is the truth that nobody is talking about. A lot of those people are one missed paycheck away from total disaster. They are not rich, they are performing rich. And the difference between those two things could change your entire financial life. If this hits close to home, drop a comment below and tell me what brought you here today. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it right now so you never miss a video like this one. Most people think that looking wealthy and being wealthy are the same thing. They are not even close to the same thing. A person who is truly building wealth does not always drive the newest car. They do not always wear the most expensive shoes. What they do have is money working for them quietly in the background while they live a normal-looking life. The person who looks rich but is actually broke is spending every dollar they earn just to keep up the image. They are renting their lifestyle with debt. They are leasing a version of success that does not belong to them. Every month they make more, they spend more. Every raise they get, a new bill appears to match it. And the cycle never stops because they never learned the difference between looking wealthy and actually becoming wealthy. There is a term for this pattern. It is called lifestyle inflation. And it is one of the most dangerous traps in personal finance today. When your income goes up, your expenses go up with it. When you earn more, you feel like you deserve more. A nicer apartment, a newer phone, better restaurants, bigger trips. It feels like a reward for working hard. But each one of those upgrades comes with a cost you are locking in for months or even years. The car payment goes up, the rent goes up, the subscriptions pile up, and before you know it, all that extra money is already gone. Lifestyle inflation is sneaky because it does not feel like a mistake when you're doing it. It feels like progress, it looks like success. But underneath the surface, your financial foundation is getting weaker, not stronger. The people who actually build wealth over time learn something most people never figure out. They learn to delay visible success. They drive the older car a little longer. They stay in the smaller apartment a little longer. They say no to things that would impress other people and yes to things that build real value. This is not about punishing yourself or never enjoying life. It is about understanding the order of operations. You build first. You enjoy the results of what you build, not the other way around. The person performing wealth is enjoying the image before they have built anything real. They are putting the roof on before they have laid the foundation. And eventually, the whole structure falls. Here is something worth thinking about. The people you admire for their wealth are usually not the loudest ones in the room. Real wealth does not need to announce itself. It does not need a brand on the shirt or a logo on the car. Real wealth feels secure. It feels quiet. It does not need the approval of other people to feel like it is enough. But the person performing wealth depends on other people noticing. They need the reaction. They need to be seen as successful. That need for external validation drives them to make financial decisions that hurt them in the long run. Every time they feel uncertain about where they stand, they spend more to prove something. And every time they spend more to prove something, they fall a little further behind where they actually want to be. Now, let us talk about debt. Because behind almost every person who looks rich but is actually broke, there is a mountain of debt. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, buy now, pay later plans, store financing, and sometimes loans from family members. Debt has become so normal in today's world that people forget it is a promise you made to your future self to work for free. When you take on debt to buy something that does not grow in value, you are paying interest on nothing. You are paying a premium to pretend you can afford something you cannot actually afford yet. And the companies that offer you easy financing know exactly what they're doing. They are counting on you not doing the math. They are counting on you focusing on the monthly payment instead of the total cost. And most people do exactly that. Think about a car for a moment. Most people see a car as a symbol of success. The newer the model, the more successful you must be. But a car is what financial experts call a depreciating asset. The moment you drive it off the lot, it is worth less than you paid. And if you finance that car, you are paying interest on something that is losing value every single month. A person who is quietly building real wealth understands this. They see a car as a tool, a way to get from one place to another. They ask themselves, does this decision move me closer to my financial goals or further from them? They are not asking, will this impress someone at the traffic light? They are asking, does this make mathematical sense? That single shift in thinking is one of the biggest separators between people who build wealth and people who perform it. Here is a pattern that repeats itself over and over again across all income levels. More money does not automatically solve the problem. There are people earning $40,000 a year who are saving money every month, and there are people earning $200,000 a year who are completely broke. Income alone does not determine wealth. The gap between what you earn and what you spend determines wealth. If you earn a lot and spend even more, you are moving backward no matter how impressive your salary sounds. The goal is not just to earn more. The goal is to keep more, to redirect more, to make more of your money work while you sleep. A high income with no savings, no investments, and no assets is just a high-cost lifestyle with extra steps. And the day that income stops, whether from a layoff or an illness or any number of life's surprises, the whole thing collapses overnight. Social media has made this problem much worse, because now the performance of wealth is a full-time job for some people. Every vacation is documented, every meal is photographed, every new purchase gets an audience. And the people watching feel pressure to keep up, pressure to not fall behind, pressure to show that they are doing well too. This is called social comparison, and it is hardwired into human beings. We measure ourselves against the people around us. The problem is that social media shows you the highlight reel and hides the debt behind it. You are comparing your real financial situation to someone else's carefully edited fiction, and you are making real financial decisions based on a story that was designed to make you feel like you are not enough. The antidote to all of this starts with honesty. Honest accounting, not the kind you show other people, the kind you do alone. Look at your bank statements, look at your credit card balances, look at what you own versus what you owe. That number, what you own minus what you owe, is called your net worth. And it is the only number that really tells the truth. Your salary can look impressive, your apartment can look impressive, your car can look impressive. But if your net worth is negative or near zero, you are not ahead, you are behind. And until you face that honestly, nothing changes. Most people avoid this calculation because they are afraid of what they will find. But the people who actually change their financial lives are the ones brave enough to look at the real number first. Once you see the real number, the next step is to stop the bleeding. That means cutting the expenses that are not building anything. Not all expenses are created equal. Some expenses maintain your life, some expenses grow your life, and some expenses just impress other people. The ones that just impress other people are the ones you want to look at most carefully. The restaurant you go to because it is trendy, the brand you buy because other people know the logo. The subscription you keep because canceling it might mean you cannot afford it, so it feels safer to leave it on. These are the quiet financial leaks that drain accounts month after month without people realizing how much is slipping away. When you start tracking every dollar and asking what it is actually doing for you, you start to see very clearly where the real cost of image is hiding. Here is where the path starts to divide. On one side, you have the person who earns and spends everything they earn. On the other side, you have the person who earns, keeps a portion no matter what, and puts that portion to work. This second person is building something called a margin, a gap between income and expenses. That margin is the most important thing in personal finance because margin is what gives you options. Options to invest, options to take a risk on yourself, options to say no to a bad job because you have savings to fall back on. The person with no margin has no options. Every financial decision they make comes from a place of desperation or pressure. And decisions made from desperation almost always make the situation worse, not better. One of the most powerful things a person can do for their financial future is to automate the act of saving. Pay yourself first, before the bills, before the groceries, before the entertainment. A set amount goes to savings automatically. This is not a new idea, but most people do not do it because they are waiting to see what is left over at the end of the month. The problem is that with lifestyle inflation and spending habits, there is almost never anything left over at the end of the month. The money fills every space available to it. Like water in a container, it will always spread to fill the shape of whatever holds it. If your container is your lifestyle will grow to match every dollar you earn. But if your container is a savings account and an investment account, your wealth will grow to match what you redirect there. Now let us talk about investing, because saving alone, while important, is not enough to build real long-term wealth. Inflation is quietly reducing the value of the money sitting in a basic savings account every single year. The prices of goods and services go up over time. If your money is not growing at least as fast as prices are rising, you are losing ground. Investing is how you put your money to work, how you make it grow faster than inflation can eat it. You do not need to be an expert to get started. Index funds, diversified portfolios, consistent contributions over time. These are the tools that regular people have used to build real wealth over decades. Not lottery tickets, not overnight promises, patience, consistency, and the decision to start. Those are the only things that separate people who invest and people who wish they had. The math of compound growth is one of the most important concepts most people were never taught in school. When your money grows and then that growth also grows, the results over long periods of time are stunning. A small amount invested consistently over 20 or 30 years can grow into something that changes your entire family's situation. But compound growth needs time. And time is the one thing you cannot buy back once it has passed. Every year you wait to start investing, you are giving up the most valuable ingredient in the formula. This is why the people who look broke but are quietly wealthy started early, even when the amounts were small. They understood that starting small and starting now is always better than waiting until you have the perfect amount to invest. There is also something important to understand about assets versus liabilities. This distinction is at the heart of real financial literacy. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket over time, an investment that grows, a property that generates rent. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket over time, a car loan, a credit card with a balance. The person building real wealth is constantly asking, am I adding to my assets or adding to my liabilities with this decision? The person performing wealth is adding to their liabilities so they can enjoy things that look like assets but are not. A fancy watch does not pay you dividends. A designer bag does not generate monthly income. But the money spent on those things could have been working for you in ways that actually change your financial story. Let us talk about the psychology behind all of this, because financial decisions are almost never purely logical. They are emotional, they are connected to identity, they are connected to fear, to belonging, to self-worth. When someone grew up without much money, they may feel a deep need to prove they have made it. Showing visible success feels like proof that the struggle was worth it, that they are not that poor kid anymore. But if that need to prove something drives financial decisions, it can trap a person in a cycle of spending that prevents them from ever actually reaching the security they are trying to signal. The irony is devastating. The behavior meant to demonstrate that you have escaped financial hardship is the exact behavior keeping you in it. Real healing around money means separating your self-worth from your net worth. Your value as a person has nothing to do with what you drive. This is also why building wealth quietly is actually a profound act of self-respect. It says that you do not need the validation of people around you to feel that what you are building is real and worth building. It says that you are playing a longer game, that you are thinking about where you want to be in 10 years, not just how you want to look next week. Quiet wealth building is not boring. It is deeply intentional. Every decision has a purpose behind it. The person building quietly knows exactly why they are driving that older car. They know exactly what that decision is costing them in the short term and gaining them in the long term. They are not sacrificing because they have to. They are choosing strategically because they understand where the choices lead. And when the results come, they come from real decisions made with real clarity, not from borrowed money and borrowed time. Here's what the end game actually looks like for the person who started building quietly. Years into their journey, their expenses are the same or less than they were when they started, but their assets have grown substantially. The investment accounts are compounding, the emergency fund is full, the debt is gone or minimal, and now they have real options. They can take a job they love even if it pays less. They can stop working earlier than their peers. They can help their children start adulthood without the burden of financial stress. They have options because they made unglamorous decisions for years while other people were performing success. The person who looked rich but was actually broke is still performing, still spending to keep up, and still one crisis away from it all falling apart. The gap between these two paths is not intelligence, it is not income, it is not luck. The gap is a set of daily decisions that most people do not even recognize as financial decisions when they are making them. The choice to buy the more expensive brand, the choice to upgrade the apartment before it is necessary, the choice to not start investing until things feel more stable, the choice to finance comfort today instead of building security for tomorrow. Every one of those choices is a small vote for either the performing life or the building life. And over time, the votes add up. One path leads to quiet, stable, real financial strength. The other leads to a life that looks impressive from the outside but feels terrifying from the inside, where every month is just another month of hoping nothing goes wrong. You now know what most people will never take the time to learn. The difference between looking wealthy and building wealth is a decision. It is a decision about what you value more, the image or the foundation, the short-term approval or the long-term security. You get to choose. And the fact that you watched this far means you are already thinking differently than most people around you. Start small if you have to, track your spending, build a margin, automate your savings, learn about investing, be honest about the real numbers. None of this is glamorous, none of it will get you likes on social media, but in 5 years, in 10 years, you will feel the difference in a way that no number of likes could ever give you. Subscribe to this channel and share this video with someone you care about, because the information in this video is exactly the kind of thing most people wish someone had told them sooner. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.